What a finish. What a man.
The drum roll finishes, and the target is...
And it comes on finals night, and it's a knockout
Brilliant. Dirty Harrison. Van Velzen.
Joe that we know. And that's the Joe that we know. 170 checkout. Now to 130. Double 20 is the target. Finds it. Lane for another. Bullseye. Oh, and that's smack bang in the middle. What a shot there from David Fatum.
Well, the first time was so nice. He just had to do it twice. And there was a little smirk on the face of the Irishman there.
Treble 18 is not the hardest to find from that angle. See? How about his bullseye? Yeah, it's rather good.
He would put it into within a leg of qualification. And he's got all the time he wants, which is why he goes to 25 to the double 18.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to Portsmouth here for Group B action of the Modus Super Series, live and free on Pluto TV as ever. This is the start of the Group B action this week, and I'm delighted to be in the presence of Trina Gulliver, the 10-time world champion, to see in all the action this evening.
Good evening, Jack. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Very well indeed. As I said, this is the start of Group B action, and there are the first 6 fixtures we're going to see this evening. Justin Smith, Reece Collie and Connor Heenahan, the newbies, will take on David Fatum, Joe Croft, and then Justin Smith gets back in on the action pretty early. David Fatum and Joe Croft are the newbies to this group, but it was... Sorry, no, they're not. They're the returners to this group, but it was a newbie in Group C this afternoon who got off to the very best possible start. Brandon Walsh taking 8 points out of a possible 10 overnight in Group C, followed closely by Mike Huntley and Lorenzo Pronk. Trina, it was a bit of an attritional afternoon, but who will be happiest with their afternoon's work?
I think Michael Huntley will be relieved. He had so many 4-3 results today, and he made it really hard work for himself.
As for Brandon Walsh, as we said, at the top of the table, 8 points to his name. He was head and shoulders above the rest of the group, really, in terms of his scoring power, but perhaps it was his doubles that he'll need tightening up if he's going to run away with the group that he is now capable of from the position he's in.
Yeah, the doubles were a bit of an issue for him today, but yeah, scoring-wise, he did well.
He did indeed. He'll be hoping to join Carl Sneed in Saturday night's action. The Bomber winning Group A earlier this week. But our eyes and attention do now turn to Group B, where, as I said, Justin Smith, Reece Collie and Connor Heenahan are the newbies in action this evening. Joe Croft and David Fatum, the 2 returners. Trina, who are you most excited to see this evening?
Reece Collie. I think he's a good shout for tonight.
Yeah, the multiple WDF title winner. We saw him at the WDF World Championships last year, but he is the outsider according to the bookmakers. 10-1 for Reece Collie if you fancy a bit of action on him. Justin Smith goes off as the favourite, 11-8, whilst Connor Heenahan, a man who's probably known more for his 9 darters in this building than his exploits in terms of winning titles, is the second favourite at 2-1. David Fatum goes off at 15-2, but he will be taking on the group favourite in our very first game. That's Justin Smith, and I caught up with the Bearded Dragon a little bit earlier on this evening. Justin, welcome back to Portsmouth once again. How are you feeling ahead of your latest tilt at the Super Series?
Yeah, good. Practice is going well. I've put more hours in this time than last time I came up, but yeah, it's going really well.
Last time you were in, me and you had a bit of a conversation about how seriously you wanted to take darts moving forward. Has anything changed in that regard?
Mindset has, yeah. Obviously, I want to do better, play more and practice more, but it hasn't actually been that way as much as I'd like. Obviously, having a kid now and all that, but it's hard to find the time. But yeah, I'm still trying to put as much hours in as I can. Yeah, and just hopefully bring the practice game here because it's doing quite well.
Is that where the format of the Super Series benefits someone like yourself? Lots of games in a short period of time?
Yeah, definitely. I think I much prefer it anyway. I usually start off really well, so the sooner the game finishes, the better for me, really.
Yeah, looking at your scoring power, that's something that you rely on massively. Is that where it wants to be?
Well, definitely, yeah. Sometimes I'm quite a big 148 or so. Doubles aren't usually up to scratch, but yeah, the scoring does help me out a lot usually, yeah.
And a word on your group tonight and for the rest of the week.
It's not
pretty
ideal,
tough,
is it? No, it's not ideal. But yeah, I'm just coming here to enjoy it. Like I said, I've been practicing well, so hopefully I can bring it onto the stage out there.
How much would it mean to win another title?
It's about time I won another one because I've come close. I think last time I was here, the year time before that, I got to the final and missed 2 darts or whatever it was. So yeah, it would mean quite a bit to get me back up to where I was before.
Well, best of luck with that, Justin.
Thank you.
Yeah, Justin Smith in good spirits ahead of his return here to the Modus Super Series. David Fatum is his opponent in the very first game, who is kitted out in yet another colourful number.
Speaking to him earlier, this is the shirt he wore at the Dutch Open just recently, where he was runner-up.
Yeah, finalist in that event. Justin Smith, though, 27 years old from Cardigan. Bit of an age gap between these two. David Fatum, the 56-year-old from Phoenix, here on his debut. Justin Smith, then, one of the players who is known for his scoring power in this building, loves plenty of 180s, which means Paul Hinks has his work cut out for him this evening.
First leg, Justin to throw first. Game on.
I hope he's in good voice.
He certainly was earlier on this evening. I caught up with him for a special edition of the Tungsten Talk that will be available on this channel very, very soon. Looking at some of the most iconic moments from what is quite frankly a long, legendary career.
Indeed it is. Top referee.
45.
Person as well.
And an all-round nice guy was what I was about to say.
He's been very helpful to myself in terms of my
95.
refereeing career. Very honoured and privileged to call that man a good friend.
Yeah, more than willing to
140.
pass on his experience to others.
And someone we just love having around here as well. Not only because it gives me a couple of days
39.
off, but he is great for the atmosphere here at the Modus Super Series. So long may it continue, Paul.
100.
Back to tonight's action then, and Justin Smith making the fastest start.
You're on 116 after 12.
95. Justin Carr, 116.
Plenty of time to have a go at this as well.
Well, that's unfortunate.
40.
Bounces out the treble by the looks of it.
Yeah, did look to be lipstick bound, but he will return for
60.
76.
Justin Carr, 76.
Fatum does leave a finish, but there's still a long way back.
Getting shown the
The
first
first leg
Justin
of the
Smith.
evening goes to Justin Smith. Clean as a whistle, that one. 76 in 2.
Second leg, David to throw
17
first.
dart leg and clinical.
Game on.
Bit of inside information. Justin was the last player to arrive this evening. In fact, he was fashionably late, shall we say.
139.
Ran onto stage, did everything he needed to do, and his first 3 darts in practice were a 180.
100.
It's all right for some having that much ability, isn't it? I say that sat next to a 10-time world champion.
Yeah, well, that was a long time ago now.
Fighting a bit of a
140.
losing battle here, aren't I?
Just remember, Jack, you are within reaching distance.
93.
I might get to a few finals in my time.
No, I mean, you're within arm's distance, arm's length.
58.
So be careful what you say.
Good job these chairs are on wheels.
98. David O'Carr, 164.
Goes the right way, but doesn't leave a finish after 9, so Fatum with the opportunity to level up.
Well, doesn't find the treble.
98.
Amazed that he stayed down after missing the first start. You'll see a lot of players go up to the treble 20 and then use the ball to leave 60, but
138.
Smith
David
applies the
O'Carr,
pressure.
66.
I'm not sure if Route 66 goes through Phoenix, but it's the journey Fatum needs to take to his first leg.
59. Justin O'Carr, 72.
Well, a chance now for Smith to take this out. Double 16.
Getting shot on the second leg.
Clinical
Justin
again
Smith.
on the doubles. Goes into a 2-0 lead. And
Third leg,
break a
Justin
throw
to
there
throw
too.
first.
A 15 dart
Game on.
leg for Justin Smith.
Yeah, averaging 16 darts per leg to open
100.
up. That's not bad by any account. And the Scorpion has it all to do in his opener.
140.
He has got the long shift this evening. Finishing third in Group A will do that to you.
100.
So he will play game number 1 and game number 10 today.
$85.
Friends with David on
140.
social media. He's been very active. Obviously, he loves his vlogs and his reels and those kind of videos as well. And he's been doing plenty this week. One thing he did note that this is
100.
typically past
Justin
his
O'Carr,
bedtime.
161.
But on the plus side for him, this is a much more reasonable hour for people back home to be watching him in action. So the trade-off's worth it.
Yes.
90.
Smith, though, raced to a finish once again. 71 after 12.
60. Justin O'Carr, 71.
Likes the 16, so should go treble 13. 2 darts at the double. That one's a bit wild.
39. David O'Carr,
He
116.
had to move across there to give himself a good view of the double 16. Opportunity here now for David. Doesn't take it, but
92.
does recover
Justin
well
O'Carr,
with that treble
32.
18 to leave himself 24.
Getting shot on the third leg. Justin
But you
Smith.
won't get a chance as Smith takes out
Fourth leg,
double
David to throw
16.
first.
and Watergate starts
Game
again.
on.
Yeah, I was on stage when that happened with John Henderson and Keegan Brown. I want absolutely no part of it. No accusations will be made
60.
by me up here, that's for sure. Smith, though, still running at that
140.
16 dart a leg average. Won't mind too much if he stays around at that level, but a bit of a look there from Fatum. Does something just distract him?
His shirt.
140.
Must get dazzled by it, surely.
It is very bright.
140.
I think it would make me dizzy if I was on stage. I mentioned Lorenzo's shirt earlier at the corner of your eye, making it look like he's pulling it halfway up his body. This one
100.
at the corner of your eye would throw some confusion.
Looks a
100.
bit like a muddled up Rubik's Cube.
I wonder why he brought that up.
I wonder. Can you solve it?
I can.
105. Justin O'Carr,
Bit of
121.
a contest we've got going on here at the Super Series, but Smith won't
53.
wrap it up in this visit.
WK 96.
And Fatum with a chance to get his first leg on the board. Wants 96. Might go double-double. Opted for the treble. Doesn't
56.
get near it. And
Justin McCarr,
match-winning
68.
opportunity for Justin Smith.
48 left. Double 16 then.
Game
And he
shot on the
finds
mat,
it.
Justin Smith.
He's been clinical in this match. A 4-0 victory there for Smith. 95.43 and 88.95. Coming up next, after the break, we have Reece Collie and Joe Croft.
Are you ready to lift that trophy, Darius? Yes. Let's do it then. Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series 9 champion is Lucky D, Darius Labanowski!
Well, what a wonderful night of darts we have seen, and we are ready. Our champion is ready, and it's trophy time. So receive the trophy. £25,000. The new Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And one more time, the 8th Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And the new Modus Super Series champion is Andreas Dirty Harrison. And one more time, the 7th Modus Super Series champion. Give it up for Andreas Dirty Harrison.
The moment we've all been waiting for. Would you please show your appreciation for your Series 6 Modus Super Series champion, Scott Taylor?
One more time, your new Modus Super Series champion. He is Chucky. He is Jim McEwen.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series champion, retaining his title, the Nuke, Luke Littler!
Welcome back to the action here, live and free on Pluto TV, where before the break we saw something incredibly rare for this week in our 61st match of proceedings since Monday. We got a 4-0 result in the favour of Justin Smith. Just the second time that's happened in this campaign. Andy Hamilton was on the receiving end of the other one from Carl Sneed in match number 44, Trina.
Yeah, an incredible week of results. Like you say, only the second.
Yeah, who knows? We might open the taps now if you like, but Joe Croft back after his exploits in Group A. Taking on Reece Collie, the 27-year-old, as I said, played at the Lakeside in the last couple of years. Lost out to Neil Duff in a fantastic game last year.
First leg, Reece to throw first. Game on.
England international as well as Reece.
Yeah, for a young lad,
140.
he's got a fair few titles. England
96.
Masters 2024. The World Open winner in 2024 in Budapest. Hungary too.
And I like that about Reece. Typically, the
56.
pathway for a modern dart player, especially someone as talented and with as many options as Reece, has been PDC all the way. You go to the development tour,
100.
you go to Q School, you play the challenge tour. If you don't get a tour card, you play here. But he's not been one that's been afraid to go and
140.
play in the odd WDF event and have a crack at Lakeside while he's there and just build up all of these experiences that in the long term he
59.
hopes to make him a better dart player.
Yeah, he's mixed it up a bit, hasn't he, as to his choice in where he plays. And,
97. Reece your car,
all
117.
experience is welcome.
43. Joe your car, 112.
So 112 now for Crofty. Needs to find the treble. Does brilliantly to get that treble.
80.
Can't find
Reece
the
your
double
car,
16.
74.
It didn't have to chase the treble 20. Did have options there, albeit leaving slightly less favourable doubles, but
32.
Collie misses the
Joe your
bullseye
car,
outside.
32.
And it's a chance for Crofty to get his first leg
Each
on the
on the
board.
first leg, Joe
Double
Croft.
16, exactly where he left it.
Second leg, Joe to throw
Break a
first.
throw
Game
there.
on.
A 16 dart leg.
How crucial is it for Crofty to get off to a positive start on the outer ring in
125.
particular, Trina? We mentioned Brandon Walsh earlier. Very, very good on the scoring. A little bit left to be desired
44.
on the doubles at times today, despite the fact he's picked up 8 points in Group C. If you were going to compare Walsh's performance to somebody in Group A, Joe Croft would be
100.
that man.
Yeah, and I've got a feeling he's going to mix it up a little bit tonight.
45.
Might, he was telling me earlier it was frustrating him yesterday. So close on them doubles, and he was either there or miles away.
125.
And his double 10 is normally his favourite, and
45.
it was both
Joe Carr,
his friend and foe
151.
yesterday. So I think he's going to try and mix it up a little bit.
It was a bit of a running joke between himself and some of the players on Tuesday in particular, whilst I was fortunate enough to be ref in that
95.
session. Every time he hit or missed it, there was a comment passed to his opponent. So it was clearly a
81.
topic of
Joe Carr,
conversation in the
56.
practice room. Misses the big number, but still opts for tops.
Getting shown a second leg, Joe
Tops he
Croft.
finds. Beautiful recovery from Crofty.
Third leg, Reece to throw
And
first.
he moves
Game
into a
on.
2-0 lead. As impressive as Justin Smith was, coming in from the cold as a newbie, Reece Collie has a lot of work
96.
to do here.
Yeah, 15 dart leg there by Joe. First leg being a 16. Currently averaging just over a ton.
180.
And his first maximum of the evening.
60.
Yeah, 31 darts for those opening 2 legs. Pretty impressive from Joe. Opened up with a maximum, would it?
41.
And those first 3 go in, your eyes light up, don't they? They think you find that first one at the top of the
Yeah.
bed, and I'm getting a crack at this, but not the
140.
requisite visit from Crofty has allowed Reece Collie back into this game. And he's on Collie's throw this leg.
58. $100.
Yeah, it wouldn't be disastrous if he was to lose this leg, but when you're at 2-0 ahead, you really like to keep that cushion, don't you?
$52. Reese your car, 105.
So 105 now for Reese. He's going for the treble 15.
53. Joe your car,
Can't find it, so
170.
he took this out the other day.
Reeled in a big fish, but he won't be getting a dart at the bullseye on this
44.
occasion. And
Reese your car,
after
52.
opening up this leg 180 against the darts, in the 4 visits that have followed, Joe Croft is yet to find a big treble.
32.
Collie is yet to find
Joe your
a
car,
leg-winning double.
126.
And there's another outside chance here for Croft. Needs a treble 19. Would have given himself a dart at the bullseye. A bit
46.
of a snarl at
Reach your
that
car,
dart. He didn't
20.
enjoy that very much.
No, not at all. 2
Being
tens
shot on the third
taken
leg, Reese Collie.
by Reese Collie. Gets a leg on the board.
Fourth leg, Joe through first. Game
I feel
on.
a bit like betrayal to Crofty, wouldn't it? When you love a double as much as Joe does on that double 10, when you see your opponent hit it,
Is it like rubbing it in?
42.
it feels like a partner doing the dirty on you.
$85.
Straight back in the treble, though, goes Joe Croft.
180.
And that was a great 180. All in the right-hand side of the bed. Could have put
49.
9 more darts in there.
Yeah, his second of the match in just 2 legs. That is our 100th 180 of the week.
97.
Still plenty to come, not just in this session, but throughout Friday and Saturday.
59. $58.
Joe leaves himself 124 after 12.
58.
Yeah,
Joe
Reece
car, 124.
back on 308 at the start of that visit. Didn't use the 18s first, so was relying on trebles immediately. Crofty with
92.
the benefit of time just choose to tee up double 16. Which is an interesting choice
Joe
because in the
Car,
previous
32.
leg when he missed the big number, he stayed on 8 for tops. This time he's gone back to 16s when he's had the choice. Pulls it off.
Fifth leg Reese to throw first. Game on.
I guess it's just how he's feeling in that moment, but you tend to see most players have a preference between one or the other.
I actually think he meant to go for the 16 in that one once he hit the 8 to leave the double 16, but went into the 8, but took his opportunity anyway, took the tops out. Well, that's
120.
unfortunate. And Max on the floor.
120 floor, as it's known in the business.
Absolutely.
93.
But unfortunate for Joe, that would have been his third maximum of this match. And he's picking up where he
99.
left off earlier this week. His scoring power has been brilliant. 10 visits of 90 plus or more already.
54. $85.
And Reece Collie needs to find a big visit here if he's going to hold his own throw and stay in this match.
100.
First to have finished, but it is a biggie, and you give Joe Croft the advantage here, especially if he bangs in at least one treble. His finish becomes significantly
56. Reach your
simpler
car,
than the
154.
Unable to do so, though.
Well, he will
58.
have an attempt at the
Joe car,
141.
141.
Treble 20 first, can't be found.
95. Reach your car, 96.
He's 46 again, so options for Crofty if he returns. Collie 96. That's a nice marker, but unable to
56.
use it.
Joe car,
He can only
46.
tee up tops. Crofty then for the match. Goes the 10 or the 6. Now double 9.
Getting shot on the match.
Nails
Joe
it,
Croft.
last dart in hand. Joe Croft with a superb performance. Downs Reese Collie by 4 legs to 1. Played at a really nice pace that, but a big win for Joe Croft early on, and Reese Collie perhaps caught a little cold in his first match of this Group B campaign. 4 from 7 on the outer ring from Joe Croft, something he'll hope continues as this campaign goes on. Next up though, we're going to see our final player of the 12 make their bow this week as Connor Heenahan takes on Justin Smith.
$54. Charlie McGuire, 164. $44. $32. Charlie required 120.
Well, 120. He's got a fair, at least 2 handfuls at this. Just needs to stay
60.
there. That's a good shot. Halves his score. Leaves himself on a 2-darter.
$26. Charlie
Time on his
required
side
60.
to become back-to-back singles champion.
$40.
Definitely a couple of nerves in those last 2 darts. But he'll be coming back.
It's a moment he's been in before this situation. Standing at the back of the stage,
Charlie
approaching the
required
hockey with a
20.
chance to win the title.
He did this to win the first title, if you remember.
11.
I think he's gone.
Georgia
I think
require
he's gone to
180.
bust it, maybe. The first title he won, he wanted 20. He went 6-7-7 to win it. He had a chance to replicate it again.
Yeah, I get the feeling that was for a bust, and
39.
on that situation there, George Scaife wasn't even
9.
able to take it out going to the 18s on that switch.
Yeah, I think he just panicked a bit, but he's done well to get that big one.
Sometimes can be the hardest part.
Georgia requires
This is it.
79.
It's got to be 19s. It's got to be 19s for this shot. Big 20 and a double. He's got the first one. He's going to get a match dart here.
$59. Charlie
Threw the entire
require
body into that
8.
one. Just didn't want to let go of the dart.
No score.
He's given George a chance.
Georgia require 20.
I think George has been quite good on double 10 today.
So many opportunities for Charlie Murphy.
Got
Couldn't
it,
get the
gets
job
it.
done.
Got it, the match! And the Red Dragon
George
Modus
Scaife.
Super Series Influencers Champion, George Scaife!
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series here at Portsmouth, live on Pluto TV. Before the break, we saw Joe Croft beat Reese Collie 4 legs to 1. Great game there. And now taken to the stage is Connor Heenahan against Justin Smith.
Yeah, 2 rapid-fire matches to start this evening so far in a week that's been legs, and a bit attritional. So far, we've had a 4-0 and a 4-1, but Connor Heenahan, the 12th and final player to make his bow here in Group B. A man that needs absolutely no introduction to this stage. 3 9-darters to his name in this building.
One at Southampton,
Yeah, at one point he had a bit of a curse on this place because he was the only player to have hit one.
First leg, Collie through first.
There's now been 17 in total in this building.
And won by
58.
Fallon Sharrett.
Yeah, possibly the most significant 9-darter this building will ever see.
The only
97.
lady player to have achieved it as of yet.
$140.
Speaking of, do you think the next one is far away? Someone like Bo producing the level she
140.
is it simply a matter of case of when, not if?
I think it's just a matter of time. Bo's just playing phenomenal
95.
of late, and yeah, I think it's just a matter of time.
94.
Could well be for bow and arrow, but plenty of depth in the ladies' game right now also. Plenty of that will be on show here in a couple of weeks' time for Women's Week 4, I think it is now.
It is Women's Week 4, yeah.
96.
The
Just
ladies
to car
very much appreciate
170.
Modus giving us the opportunity.
93. Collie car 112.
Richly deserved, in my opinion.
Oh, thank you very much. We think so too. Double 16 then.
88.
Now just goes
Just
into
car
the 8
77.
bed. So a chance now for Smith to take out this 77, double 10.
Game
Finds
shot on
it
the
with his
first leg,
third
Justin
dart.
Smith.
Breaks the throw of Connor Heenahan and moves
Second
one leg
Justin
ahead.
through first. Game on.
5 straight legs to start this evening for Justin Smith.
140.
Winning legs of 15, 16,
39.
15 and 17 in his opening match. And a 15 darter here against the darts as well.
100.
Maybe the odds
85.
compilers have had one eye on Justin Smith's practice sessions because he was instilled as the favourite. And it's something that caught my eye a little bit.
91.
Well, the Bearded Dragon is playing very, very close to his top level, in my opinion.
140. Just
Yeah,
car
it's got 170 now. Well, it's not to be. Looking to find a big treble,
87.
and he does. Leaves himself 83 when he returns.
$81. Justin car 83.
Heenahan does leave a finish, but it's a bit of a biggie, so chance for Smith to win his 6th straight leg of the night. It's the treble 16 to double 9.
65. Connor car
This is outside.
156.
And Heenahan, who had a dart for double 16 in the opener for the 112, won't get a dart at double 18 for the 156.
Justin car 18.
Double 9. Well, he decides to switch.
Game
Well,
shot on the second leg, Justin Smith.
That wasn't planned.
Yeah, he definitely meant to go 2 double 8, but
Double
the
Connor
double
to
2
the
throwing
first.
Connor
Game
Heenahan
on.
off as well. That was definitely 18, Connor.
Yeah, questioning it. Confuses everybody.
Apart from Paul Hinks, who was very alert to that, by the way.
$82.
Excellent counting from the main man himself.
137.
Justin Smith, though, continues that fine form. 17 dart leg in that one, meaning he's averaging 16 darts a leg once again.
136.
And even when it's bad, it's good for Justin.
Well, correcting
81.
the mistakes when he's made it. And that's just quality play.
100. $60.
I think there is one slight accusation you could have levelled at Justin Smith's game in the past, and that is he can be a
57.
little inconsistent. He does have a very, very high ceiling to his game, but when the darts do go awry, he can struggle just a little bit.
41.
As our good friend
Connor
Scott
Carr,
Mitchell would say,
126.
make hay when the sun shines. If you're going to continue playing to this level right now, get as many points on the board as possible.
46.
Yeah, very true. A chance for Connor
96.
to
Connor Carr, 80.
get a leg on the board here. 80 required. Finds the treble 20, double 10 required now. Moves across the hockey.
60.
Can't find it.
Justin Carr, 86.
Opportunity now for Smith to go 3-0 ahead. So the bullseye.
61. Connor
Not
Carr,
quite there.
20.
Is this the moment Smith loses the
Gates
leg
on
for the
third
first
leg,
time this
Conor
evening?
Heenahan.
Connor Heenahan, double 10. Picks up his first
Fourth
leg
leg
of the
Justin
night.
to throw first. Game on.
Smith with the advantage of throw in leg
100.
4, and he's straight back in that treble segment. He's not hanging around this evening at all.
140. $60.
And from the outset, this group looked like it was going to be incredibly competitive.
57.
Players quite evenly matched in their exploits here at the Super Series in the past. But the pace of the games
100.
looks set to be quite enjoyable for the evening.
Yeah, all quick throwers.
125.
Needs treble.
58.
Connor looking to leave this handy. Treble 7. Oh, that was
135.
brave. Going for another treble.
Yeah, fraught with danger that Heenahan, but he gets away with it.
134.
Coming
Connor
back
Carr,
for
44.
44. Players normally go for 12 or 4 here. Leaves tops.
Games
It's
on the
tops.
fourth leg.
Connor Heenahan
Heenahan
gets himself level. Justin Smith has lost back-to-back legs.
This leg Connor to throw first. Game on.
A 14 dart leg there for Connor. Current average is 90.90 for Connor and an 89.08 for Justin.
81.
Which way do you go for 44, Trina? It's one of those bread and butter finishes, isn't it? But there's plenty
60.
of options for it.
I would normally go 4 tops.
The Motown shot. Now, where I'm not as good as you, I've started to go for
95.
8 or 16 first.
Have you?
Because 8 leaves double 18,
Mm-hmm.
and 16 leaves double 14, and I quite like that one.
100.
Quite like double 14.
Yeah, it's a bit like 10 or a 6 on 42 and 46.
Mm.
$99.
That's not the way I would normally go, to be fair. Quite traditional when it comes to outshots. Old school.
I did not say the first word.
No, I am old school.
56.
I admit it.
The word school's doing a lot of work in that sentence, doesn't it?
131. Connor Carr 170.
Yes, it's a very big safety net. Speaking of net, Conor Heenahan won't be landing the 170 this time.
Carr 74.
Chance for Smith to regain the lead. This would be another breaker throw. 20 for tops. Got to go round that one now.
54. Connor Carr 74.
Heenahan with a chance at the same combination. Triple 14 would earn 2 darts at double 16, which is what he gets. One more in hand.
Game shot on the fifth
Superb
leg.
from Conor Heenahan. Justin Smith was rapid out of the gates in this one, picking up where he left off in game number 1, where he produced a 4-0 demolition of David Fatum, but he knows fought back superbly, and he's now just one away
45.
from his first win of the evening.
Yeah, Justin taking a 2-0 lead in this match. Now,
57.
Conor winning the next 3 to go ahead.
40.
Lovely response from Conor Heenahan, who we expect an awful lot from this duo on stage in particular, because their exploits here
59.
have been so good. Their A game is incredible when you look at the caliber of players that we get through the door here at the Super Series. But I think both will be the
60.
first to admit that the last time or two they've been down here to the South Coast, they haven't been able to put it all together. Connor's been a little bit scratchy
30.
in some of his games. Struggled to make Saturday nights, which used to be a regular thing for him. Justin Smith having to battle his way through Group C last time he was here, I
134.
believe. And these are the kind of players that, for many appearances, have been in
58.
contention to win Group A's. They possess that quality, that firepower, and that consistency to do so.
58.
But we don't have a lot of evidence in front of us, but what we can say from the performances so far is
96.
they
Justin
certainly
Carr
look
164.
closer to being back to their best than their last couple of appearances.
58.
Well, Smith will be back for that 106 that he's left. As Conor looking to pressurise that 106.
106.
And he does so. You feel this is a must go.
Still on, 91 left, treble 17 for tops. Won't go this time, and Heenahan with a match-winning
74.
opportunity on his
Connor
return.
Carr 62.
So tops then.
22. Justin Carr 32.
Giving Smith a chance. Double 16, double 8 now to level the match.
Game shot on
And
the
does
sixth
so.
leg. Justin Smith.
And we go into another deciding leg, which today
Semi-final
has
leg.
been
Connor
full
to through
of them.
first. Game on.
This week has been full of them, if we're being honest, Trina, and maybe the 2 games we've seen so far have been outliers.
134.
We do go down the last. Both players mid-80s in their averages so far. Equal in the checkout success. Both 3 from 8 on the
97.
outer ring. Pretty similar in their highest checkout as well. 74 for Heenahan, 77 for Smith. So not much to separate this pair.
60. $59.
And when a game is as equal as it looks on paper right now, perhaps the advantage of throw may be the key decider.
93.
Conor Heenahan, the man with the darts in this 7th and final leg.
Well, Smith needs to find
60.
a treble. Can't find one. So Conor is the favourite. Extends
100.
his lead.
And the scoring power has just dried up at the wrong time here for Justin Smith. Did well to get himself back level. Is he producing at the key moment, though? There's a maximum. The first of the game. Has it come too late for Smith? Heenahan, treble 18, won't go, and Smith will get a look at the 105.
Justin Car, 105.
This to sneak it. 45 left. 13 for double 16. One in hand for the match.
Just stops himself.
Game
but
shot on the match. Just
controls it, and what a decision to make there. Didn't feel like he got hold of the dart properly and stopped himself. Good decision. A 4-3 victory there from Justin. 85.03 for Connor. 86.77. Coming up next, we have David Fatum, Reece Collie.
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series channel here on Pluto TV. Bringing you 24/7 darting coverage. We're in the midst of our Group B campaign here on this Thursday evening in the UK. And this is match number 4, where David Fatum will do battle with Reece Collie. Both
First
players
leg, David,
lost
is
their
through
opening
first.
match of the evening, so a chance for
Game
one of these
on.
players to move on to 2 points. Justin Smith is the man who leads the table early on, though. 2 wins for him so far. Wins over
64.
Fatum and Heenahan, whilst Joe Croft got the better of Reese Collie in their first game.
180.
First 180 of the match. By Reese.
79.
First visit of the game as well, which means his average can only go in one direction,
96.
Trina.
Indeed.
$94.
Well, it can stay the same technically, but that's only if he plays a 1-leg match and his opponent hits a 9. Other than that, it will
85.
fall.
Well, leaves himself on 140 after 9.
$41. Reese
David
car
clattered into his
140.
first start. Goes into the 1. Double 10.
120.
Doesn't quite go for Collie. That would have been his best leg of the evening. David, though, didn't need
100.
to chase the treble
Reach
20
your
in
car,
that previous
20.
visit. Had options on the 18s in particular. Does now leave a finish, but Collie with
Being
3
shown
in
the
hand
first
makes
leg,
no
Reece
mistake
Collie.
at double 10. And Chaos is
Second leg, Reese to through first. Game on.
off
Calls
and
him.
running.
Chaos.
Chaos by name, chaos by nature. And a much more positive start from Reese
96.
here in his second game. He's definitely slow at the blocks in game number 1. Take nothing away from Joe Croft's performance, though. Superb from Crofty.
97.
This
100.
is much more like it from Reese Collie.
Yeah, 14 dart leg. The first leg.
100. $140.
Curious to me from Reese because he is a counter and he will know to start on 18s from 305, yet it's the second time this evening he's chosen not to.
140.
He did it on 308 earlier on as well, where he chased the trebles first and second dart and then would have switched away with the third.
60. David Dakar 164.
But in playing the previous visit the way he did, didn't leave a finish, and Fatum was able to leave 164, meaning he gets the early opportunity for the biggie.
Didn't quite
94. Reach your car
find the
105.
next treble. So 105 for Collie. Couldn't find the treble 15.
65.
But
David
does
Dakar
find
70.
the treble 10.
Great recovery from Reese, but chance once again for Fatum. 20 leaves double 16.
54.
Just inside. And
Reach your car
6 starts from
40.
164 now for Fatum to break straight back.
Getting shot on the second
Reece
leg.
Collie
Reece Collie.
extends his lead instead. 2-0 to the good for Chaos.
Third leg, David is through
14 dart
first.
leg backed
Game
up
on.
by a 16, so he's averaging 100. Fatum was legless in his opening game. Going down 4-0 to Justin Smith. Finds himself
45.
on the 8 ball in this one. And it's not disastrous in Group B to get off to a slow start because
45.
you can make up the points, and there are 3 from 6 that progress to Saturday night from this group. So even if you do get a runaway player such as Justin Smith so far, don't have to worry yourself too much with that one. But
140.
as David alluded to on his own social media a little bit earlier on this evening, He is very much the rookie amongst this
57.
group this evening. A very, very experienced bunch here at the Super Series. All of them approaching 10 appearances, I think, if you add them all up.
Wow.
This is Series 11.
140.
But a lot of these players are regulars. Some of them may have even been double appearances in some series before,
95.
where you can play a group A and then return for a B or C a little bit later on. Reece Collie, for instance, this is his 12th appearance. Made
100.
Saturday on half of those occasions.
That's some record, that. Very impressive.
58. David Ducar, 76.
Conor Heenahan's must be similar as well. His 9 darters date back to Southampton, and he's not had a tour card in between, so...
Well, Fatum misses
36.
the big 16 with his second dart. Does leave himself tops, and he will return for that.
96. David Ducar, 40.
So tops now for David.
You expect he's got time on his hands, so there shouldn't be too much pressure on this. Would have liked to take it a lot
30.
cleaner than he's making it.
Richard Carr, 150.
This is where the evening can just start to unravel a little bit for Fatum if Collie can produce the 150. Won't go this time. 79 scored, leaves 71.
92.
13 the option.
David Ducar, 10.
Leaves a 2-dart combination though. No one really likes double five. I don't think I've ever met a dart player that likes double five.
He's on the third
Well,
leg.
he
Henry
likes it
Fatum.
today and at this point in time. So he's taking it out.
Fourth leg reach to throw
Gets
first.
a leg on the
Game
board.
on.
Yeah, much needed for David Fatum against the very experienced Reece Collie, as we said. 12 appearances to date, 6 finals nights to his name. That record is slightly
100.
eclipsed, though, by Conor Heenahan, who's also making his 12th appearance. But he's made 10 finals nights. That's some going.
It is.
134.
And that's why his last couple of appearances where he hasn't quite produced his A game have been so surprising for Conor, because he's been such a consistent performer in this building.
96.
Impressive records being made here at the Modus Super Series.
97.
And this young man here,
95.
Dudley, in the West Midlands.
I don't want to give too much away, but we are going to be revealing next
60.
week's lineup in a few games' time. And within those 12, there is someone else who is right up there in terms of the record books here at the
140.
Modus Super Series. That's all I'm going to give you, though.
You're going to leave us dangling.
Yeah.
Ah. So 70 now
52. Richard Carr,
for
70.
Reece. $20 for tops then. Just moves along the hockey.
30. David Ducar,
Can't find it.
158.
Outside chance now for David to take out this 158. Can't be done this time. So Reece will return
65.
for tops.
Richard Carr, 40.
2 10s.
30.
He
David
can't
Ducar,
find it either. So
93.
chance now for David to level the match.
Yeah, and as good as Collie's scoring power has been, it's just 2
53.
from 8 on the
Richard
outer
Carr,
ring in this
10.
contest.
Double
Fatum lo-
5.
Fatum loved this in the previous leg. Got to use that marker, surely.
5. David Ducar,
That's
40.
the wrong side of the wire.
Yeah, couldn't quite manage. So tops now
Game shot on the fourth
David
leg. David
hits it.
Fatum.
with his second dart. Levels the match. 2-2.
Fifth leg, David to throw first. Game on.
Penny for your thoughts, Reece.
Yeah, done all the hard work in this game. Led 2-0. Was averaging 100 at that
81.
moment. But just 2 from 11 on the outer ring has opened the door for David Fatum to get back into this match. And both legs have been won in 6 visits. 7 visits, sorry. For the Canadian-born, American-made man. That's what his shirt say, not me.
43.
I do like Fatum's array of shirts. They've been quite colourful, something different, a little bit of personality, the complete opposite to what we perhaps see from a Conor Heenahan. But where do you stand with the do more, be more on the
41.
back of the shirt? It's quite an inspirational thing, I think, something he's trying to push and encourage others. But if I'm an opponent looking at that, I'm
85.
taking inspiration from that. I wanted to do more, be more against him.
It's yeah, I see what you mean.
123.
Yeah. The only other time I've seen something similar was back in my university playing days. I went to Nottingham-Trent University. We're big rivals with
97.
University of Nottingham. And they took inspiration from the great Eric Bristow. And on the back of their shirts had their names or nicknames, whatever they want to be. But at the bottom, on the back of every single shirt, they wrote, "Do you breathe when you throw?"
29.
Oh, right,
Richard Carr,
okay.
126.
I mean, it never had any effect on me. I was curious to the origins, perhaps, of the statement, but I thought that was quite clever from them, actually, to put that thought in
58.
someone's mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eric famously doing that before a World Championship final.
Mind games.
Yeah. But a constant mind game that you don't even need to
56.
do anything with.
Richard
Quite
Carr,
clever that, I thought.
68.
Shame they were all rubbish at darts.
Tops then.
Getting shot on the
Finds
fifth leg.
it.
Reece Collie.
Leads the match by 3 legs to 2.
6 leg
and
Reece to
that's
throw first.
a breaker
Game
throw.
on.
An 18 dart leg. Reece now throwing for the match.
Collie just, not Collie.
140.
Fatum just tapping his temple on the side of his head as if to say, "Come on, David, switch on."
$97.
Well, does manage to find the treble 19 with his last start.
100.
Perfect dart. Well, that one a bit wild.
100. $140.
Almost thought that one was nailed on, but just the ton 40 from Collie leaves 1-2-1 for the match.
Yeah, 1-2-1 after 9.
60. Reece Carr, 121.
Nice responses from Collie, opened up the match by winning the first 2 legs, was pegged back a bit by David Fatum, perhaps of Collie's own doing, if we're being honest. Doubling disappeared
81.
for a couple of moments, but tees up tops for the match on his return, and there's not a lot David Fatum can do about it. He can apply some pressure.
98.
Needed
Reece
another
Carr,
trouble really
40.
to do so, and match-winning opportunity for Reece Collie incoming.
Getting shot on the match. Reece
Match-winning
Collie.
opportunity taken by Chaos himself. 2 points on the board for Reece Collie at the second time of asking this evening. He avenges his 4-1 defeat to Joe Croft a little bit earlier on and takes out David Fatum by 4 legs to 2. Pretty impressive performance in the end from Collie, just shy of the 90 average mark in the end. 4 from 13 on the outer ring though. Coming up next, we round out the first half of this evening's fixtures as Joe Croft takes on Conor Heenahan.
ready to lift that trophy, Darius? Yes. Let's do it then. Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series 9 champion is Lucky D, Darius Labanowski!
Well, what a wonderful night of darts we have seen, and we are ready. Our champion is ready, and it's trophied. So receive the trophy. £25,000. The new Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And one more time, the 8th Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And the new Modus Super Series champion is Andreas Dirty Harrison. And one more time, the 7th Modus Super Series champion. Give it up for Andreas Dirty Harrison!
The moment we've all been waiting for. Would you please show your appreciation for your Series 6 Modus Super Series champion, Scott Taylor!
One more time, your new Modus Super Series champion. He is Chucky. He is Jim McEwen.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series champion, retaining his title, the Nuke, Luke Littler!
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series here live and free on Pluto TV, your one-stop 24-hour non-stop darts channel. Before the break, Reece Collie joined the winner's circle for the evening, getting the better of David Fatum by 4 legs to 2. Joe Croft and Connor Heenahan round out our first half of fixtures now. Into this game, everybody will have played 2 matches in the group.
Looks like Joe to throw first. Game on.
It's not very often I get to do this next bit, Trina, because normally I've got a different mic in my hand.
77.
Sometimes I do wonder who on earth the people are that message into the commentators to say hello. But Niall Cullerton's at home watching. Super Series regular here. As is Alex Small, the wild
48.
card. A weekly winner in the previous series. Hope you're both well, gents.
Yeah, nice to hear from them.
59.
Enjoying some late night darting action.
55.
Been plenty of it today as well. Not only did Group C get underway earlier this evening, but the PDC World Cup of Darts started
59.
in the Einsporthalle over in Germany. The host getting off to a positive start. 4-2 winners over Portugal. Elsewhere, the Netherlands beat Italy 4-0. Belgium's up and running with a big 4-1 win over Latvia.
59.
There was wins for the Irish, 4-2 over Gibraltar. Craig Galliano and Justin Hewitt, a pair that we saw here at the International Pairs Week. Really, really good game between Poland and South Africa. Radek Cyganski and Krzysztof Ratajski getting the better of Cameron Carolison and Devon Peterson. Bit of a surprising Group F, though,
125.
where Malaysia, featuring Shah and Tan, took out Team Canada by 4 legs to 1.
140.
Matt Campbell and Jim Long beaten.
133.
More updates for you in a moment, but
57.
I'll go this time for
Joe
Heenahan and a shot
107.
at the 107 for Joe Croft. Treble 18. Treble 17, sorry. Would leave double 18.
It's been a long day, Jack. It's okay.
Conor Carr, 76.
I've got your back.
We'll ignore what my other job is.
Double 8 then.
Getting shown the
Takes
first
it.
leg, Conor Heenahan.
Takes the first leg of the match. A breaker throw there.
Second leg, Conor did through first. Game on.
I looked downwards. I knew which part of the segment he was meant to be aiming at. I just said the wrong one. First leg on the board then for Heenahan.
42.
Back to the World Cup. A couple more results for you. Jeffrey de Graaf and Oskar Lukasiak of Sweden, beating former series champion here, Darius Labanauskas
43.
and Mindaugas Barauskas, 4-1. Austria off to a strong start as well. 4-1 winners over Spain. Bit of a surprise in Group I.
84.
Danny Lauby and Jules Van Dongen. Danny's a player we've seen here before. They went down 4-1 to Hong Kong. Lok Yi Lin and
180.
Man Lok Lung. Czechia got off to a positive start against Chinese Taipei, 4-2.
140.
Really good win for Japan over Croatia in Group K. And the evening rounded out with a big
58.
4-0 win for New Zealand against Finland. Luke Humphreys and Luke Little are expected to do the damage in that particular tournament, though, Trina. Heavy
65.
heavy favourites. Can you see anything else happening?
It's hard to, isn't it? It's hard to see what other
180. Conor Carr,
outcome there
170.
could be. But yes, a very strong pairing indeed. Well, this is on. Needs the bullseye.
145.
Just goes
Joe
into the
Carr,
25.
40.
So tops now for Crofty to level the match. 2 10s.
30.
Can't
Conor
find
Carr,
it.
25.
So chance for Heenahan.
And the story of Crofty's week looks to be continuing, doesn't it, Trina? It's either slap bang in the middle of the double or
Conor Heenahan.
far enough away that it does some damage. And after a really positive
Third
start
leg,
in
Joe
his
did through
opener,
first. Game
Croft
on.
getting the better of Reece Collie, 4 legs to 1. He finds himself up against it here, 2 legs behind to Conor Heenahan, and his favourite double 10 letting him down in the middle of his
135.
last visit there. It's a bit of a snarl, a bit of a look of anguish on his face, as if to say, why do you keep doing this to me?
Yeah, and in his other match,
96.
he changed it up a little bit. Avoided the double 10 and went out on double
43.
16, double 18, double top. Can't remember the other one. It could have been double 10.
It's not always possible to do that, though, is there?
45.
Sometimes your position within the leg dictates leaving tops, for instance. It's not the easiest one to get away from and ignore.
No, exactly.
47.
Sometimes there's not another option. Another maximum there from Conor Heenahan. First of this match from him.
58.
He didn't hit one in his previous game at all. Crofty, though, with 2 to his name in this encounter. Hit 2 in his first match. That's 4 for the night already for Joe Croft.
140.
And I keep saying it, Trina, there's absolutely nothing wrong with Joe Croft's scoring power this week.
No, nothing. He's
58. Conor McCarr,
doubles
40.
have been the issue. The tops
Finish on
now
the third leg, Conor Heenahan.
goes into a comfortable 3-0 lead and another break of throw.
Fourth leg, Conor to through first. Game on.
And now Heenahan throwing for the match.
$100.
It's a mixed bag from Conor in his opener. Bit of a slow start.
85.
Found himself up against it. Recovered to lead against Justin Smith. 3-2, but it was the Welshman that doubled his points tally for the
100.
evening in the end. Taking out the 105 for the match. First and only ton plus of this group so far.
100.
Thought Paul was going to give Joe a bit of a cuddle there. All right, mate, we'll find your doubles eventually.
And another maximum.
180.
Conor Heenahan is second of this match. 2 apiece as far as the 180s are concerned here.
121.
A match-winning opportunity for Heenahan on the 1-2-1. Won't go this time, but he will return
81.
4 tops. And there's a real difference between this group so far, Trina, and this afternoon, in that when a player smells blood in this
81.
group, they
Conor
have
McCarr,
been
40.
ruthless. Conor Heenahan about to show that here. Double 15. Goes inside.
32.
That visit was a
Joe
little more
McCarr,
toothless
95.
than ruthless.
An opportunity now for Crofty. Hits the bullseye, 45 left.
55.
Had options there.
McCarr,
Could have
8.
gone for double 16, which was good for him in his opening game, but went 5 for tops, and chance once again for Heenahan for the match. Twos never lose.
Getting shot in the match,
They certainly
Conor
don't for
Heenahan.
Conor Heenahan this time. Really impressive from Heeno in that one. The Irishman picks up his first points of the night. 92 match average for him in the end. 4 from 9 on the outer ring for Conor Heenahan, whilst both players had 2 180s apiece. That's the first half of matches complete for this evening. Players will get their third game underway after this ad break, where we return with Justin Smith taking on Reece Collie.
We've seen Conor Heenahan take a 4-0 victory over Joe Croft. And here now we have Justin Smith against Reece Collie.
Yeah, Justin Smith, the only player yet to suffer defeat in this group so far. 2 wins from 2. Whilst Reece Collie picked up his solitary win in his last outing against David Fatum.
First leg, Justin to through first. Game on.
As we said earlier, Justin Smith looking back
100.
somewhat near to his best.
Producing the highest average so far
82.
of this evening in his first match against David Fatum.
96.
Both games so far, he's threatened that ton mark, hasn't he? He's just had the odd leg where it's dropped off a little bit, but the signs are there that Justin Smith isn't just here to take part
100.
this week. He's here to compete for the weekly title. But be the
43.
second player named Smith to make it to Champions Week if he picks up the title this week. Join Canada's Jeff Smith,
60.
who did win week number 1. Scott Taylor, former champion, won week number 2. Whilst it's been
60.
double delight for Ireland in week 3 and 4. The Joker, John O'Shea, getting his hands
85.
on that trophy in week number 3. And swiftly followed up by Shane McGurk, the WDF World Champion, winning week 4 for the second
60.
series in a row. That seems to be Shane's week.
Does indeed.
57.
If you're a
Just
player
look
that
out,
gets an invitation to week
142.
4 in the next series, you're going to be a little bit apprehensive about taking it, aren't you? Knowing that Shane McGurk might be lurking in Group B somewhere. He's not a player that tends to play the full week here.
44.
Does like his Group
Reece
B
Collie,
routine.
117.
Flies into England. I was going to say the UK then, but he sort of lives there anyway. Ish. Great Britain, close enough.
Getting shot on the first leg, Reece Collie.
As Reece Collie fires in the second ton plus of the evening, the 117.
Second leg, Reece to throw first.
Goes the way
Game
of
on.
chaos. But back to McGurk. Yeah, he flies in on the Thursday morning. Makes his way to Portsmouth for the early evening. Straight in for the 10 p.m. session.
100.
Typically books his spot on a Saturday night, and for the last 2 series has picked up a title
140.
whilst he's here. And
Job
he's
done.
And he's home by midday on the Sunday.
Well, maximum there
80.
by Reece. First one of this match.
59.
And if his first game was a bit of a slow start, it's been a significant improvement from Reece Collie since. 4-2 win
57.
over David Fatum, in which he found 1 maximum, average just under 90. And he's got the early advantage
58.
here in this one
Reece
too.
Collie,
164 after 9.
Not to be this time.
104.
Beautiful setup play though, leaves 60 after 12.
Yeah,
That's what I was saying earlier on that 164. If you don't find the trouble with the first start,
60.
get yourself
Reece
away.
Collie, 60.
Try and leave this exact finish.
2 10s then. Finds it
Getting
with his
shot on
third
the second leg,
dart.
Reece Collie.
Moves into a 2-0 lead.
Third leg, Justin to throw first. Game on.
Been pretty plain sailing for Justin Smith up until this point. Beat David
100.
Fatum 4-0 in his opener. Raced out to an early lead over Conor Heenahan in his second game. Was pegged back a bit. But
57.
found a way to get over the line in that one. Winning the game with that 105 checkout. But work to be done here in his third match of the night.
Yeah, and
100.
a bit of a difference in averages. Over 10 points difference at the moment.
100.
And it would cause quite a significant change in mentality for Smith
57.
heading into his final game if he was to lose this. 3 from 3 heading into his last matchup of the night, which will be against Joe Croft, means
58.
basically allows that last game to be a bit of a free roll, doesn't it, Trina? Good work so far. 6 points on the board. That's what most players would have asked for before they walked in the
48.
building for the evening's play. But just 4 points and then a bit of a battle on your hands to make sure you get to that 6 point mark. When you get off to such a positive start like Justin has, if you lose this
125.
building with just 4 points in hand by the end of the night, he'll feel like something's gone a bit wrong.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed with that, but
57.
We'll
Rishuka
see how
161.
the night progresses. He will be back.
100. Justin
Have a pop at this 139.
$84.
I does
Richard
find the treble
Carr,
20 with his
61.
last start. So Collie now 61, hits the bullseye. So 11 left.
Too good, Reese.
Double 4 then.
Gage
Finds
on the
it.
third leg, Reese Collie.
Gets a 3-0 lead and a break of throw.
Fourth leg, Reese to throw first. Game on.
Reese very much in control of this match.
I want to signs here for Connor Heenahan as well. He will be Collie's
100.
fourth and final opponent of the night, and Reese has got better in every game so far this evening.
61.
If that trend continues, Connor Heenahan is going to have to produce something pretty special to ensure the man
100.
from the Midlands doesn't leave this building with 2 more points to his name.
Well, Connor did have a 92.49
100.
in his last game against Joe Croft, so he'll be going into that game
40.
with a bit of confidence, hoping that he can continue that form.
Yeah, a couple of games break though for Connor
100.
Heenahan. We're seeing Smith v Collie now. We'll see a rematch of that battle we saw in Group A between David Fatum and Joe Croft next.
100.
Before Heenahan does battle with Reese Collie in match number 8 this evening. Then that'll be rounded out with
140.
Joe Croft
Richard Carr,
against Justin
161.
Smith before Heenahan takes on David Fatum. This game was nearly rounded out by
137.
Reese Collie.
Justin Carr, 100.
Smith needs this ton to stay alive. Tops. Considered it. Went to treble 16 instead.
52.
Unable to find the
Richard
treble.
Carr,
And
24.
Reese Collie, the opportunity to brush aside Justin Smith. One more in hand at double 12.
No score.
Oh,
How's
so
that not gone in?
close.
48.
So close. It's a chance then for Smith. Double 16 to get a leg on the board. And
16.
he can't find it.
Richard
So
Carr, 24.
Reese returns for double 12 for the match.
I didn't think it was possible for him to put one inside of the mark as he had in the previous
Each
visit,
on the
but
match, Reese Collie.
makes the adjustment beautifully in that one, and Reese Collie runs out a 4-0 winner over Justin Smith. Everything was seemingly going to plan for the Bearded Dragon this evening. But chaos by name, chaos by nature. Reese Collie puts the cat amongst the pigeons and takes out who was the group leader, Justin Smith, by 4 legs to 0. Superb performance from Collie. 4 from 9 on the outer ring. And that 117 check out the highest of the night so far. Coming up next, that Group A rematch between David Fatum and Joe Croft.
$54. Charlie McGuire, 164. $44. $32. Charlie required 120.
Well, 120. He's got a fair, at least 2 handfuls at this. Just Just needs to stay
60.
there. That's a good shot. Halves his score. Leaves himself on a 2-darter.
$26. Charlie, you
Time on his
require
side
60.
to become back-to-back singles champion.
$40.
Definitely a couple of nerves in those last 2 darts. But he'll be coming back.
It's a moment he's been in before this situation. Standing at the back of the stage,
Charlie,
approaching the
require
Yoki with a
20.
chance to win the title.
He did this to win the first title, if you remember.
11.
I think he's gone.
Georgia
I think
require
he's gone to
180.
bust it, maybe. The first title he wanted 20. He went 6-7-7 to win it. He had a chance to replicate it again.
Yeah, I get the feeling that was for a bust, and
39.
on that
Charlie,
situation there, George
require
Scaife wasn't even
9.
able to take it out going to the 18s on that switch.
Yeah, I think he just panicked a bit, but he's done well to get that big one.
Sometimes can be the hardest part.
Georgia requires
This is it.
79.
It's got to be 19s. It's got to be 19s for this shot. Big 20 and a double. He's got the first one. He's going to get a match dart here.
$59. Charlie,
Threw
you
the entire
require
body into that
8.
one. Just didn't want to let go of the dart.
No score.
He's giving George a chance.
Georgia require 20.
I think George has been quite good on double 10 today.
So many opportunities for Charlie Murphy.
Go
Couldn't get the job
it.
done.
Got in the match! And the Red Dragon
George
Modus
Scaife.
Super Series Influencers Champion, George Scaife!
The crowd will go wild. Double 16. What a finish! He's a magician.
Championship point for Peter and Ollie. Can they do it?
And Peter Wachuri!
The Kenyan King returns. The man you've all been waiting for at home. Peter Wachuri is back here at the Modus Super Series next week. He'll be in a Group A campaign that features one of the most inevitable players here at the Super Series, Neil Duff. Record-breaking average performer Charlie Manby off the development tour. Ronan McDonough from Ireland, Adam Gowlas, former World Youth finalist, and Ivan Springborg Poulsen makes his Super Series debut after his ADC Global Championship appearance at the back end of last year. Group B looks really exciting as youngster Henry Coates gets another shot against Super Series regulars David Wazowski and Martin Thomas, whilst Group C is about experience. Kieran Tian, one of the first winners in this building. Darren Johnson, player who's been here, there and everywhere pretty much in his career, and Jonathan Platt is back at the Super Series once again following his ADC exploits of late. Here's what we've seen so far this evening though. 6 games down, just 4 to go, and it was pretty plain sailing for Justin Smith up until match number 6 where Reece Collie got the better of him 4-0. Those 4-0 scorelines, though, Trina Gulliver, are a bit like London buses. We've waited all week for one and we get 3 in the first 6 games.
Oh, yes. They've been rare.
They have indeed just 1 up until this moment so far this week. But this is what the table looks like heading into the final couple of fixtures this evening. Reece Collie does now lead the group ahead of Justin Smith. David Fatum, the only player winless so far, but he'll get the opportunity to move off for 0 points next as he does battle with Joe Croft. A rematch of a game we've seen 3 times already this week as both players dropped into Group B from Group A. David Fatum leads this head-to-head 2-1 this week. And if he's going to get some points on the board, he needs to extend that. And what that will mean is he will end the week at least level with Joe Croft. Joe Croft cannot leave this building with a positive head-to-head against David Fatum if Scorpion wins this match.
Well,
First leg,
Joe
David
will
through
be
first. Game on.
looking to sort his doubles out. Scoring's been good for
16.
Joe. Doubles have been a bit of a problem. Started off well tonight.
100.
But in the last match became a problem
57.
when he lost 4-0 to Conor Heenahan. Had 4 darts at the double and couldn't convert.
56.
Nice to see David Fatum giving the game a real go once again. One of those players that in the early days of the PDC,
60.
when they were reliant on North American involvement, was around the scene a little bit, but a now retired firefighter. Giving the game a bit more of a last hurrah, shall we say. Headed down to Cell C last week for
100.
the England International. Actually entered that tournament as the number 1 seed. But both of those events were won by former series champion here, Jim McEwen, who looks to be in fine form. Yet to see Chucky in this series yet.
Indeed.
58.
Yeah, it's been a busy time for David. As, like you said, just retired as a firefighter.
100.
And also,
Joe your car,
3 weeks ago,
147.
he got married.
Busy man. Firefighter seems to be another one of those jobs.
59.
You mentioned postman
David
earlier.
Carr, 124.
Firefighters, Alan Suter's an active firefighter in Scotland. Alex Williams, who was here last week, I think, maybe the week before.
81.
From Wales,
Joe
he's a
Carr,
fireman
88.
by trade as well. You got to admire people that potentially
Getting
put
shown
their
the
life
first
on the
leg, Joe
line
Croft.
for others.
Crofty
Second leg, Joe to through
hitting the
first.
bullseye
Game
there,
on.
taking out 88 to break the throw of Fatum. Leads the match by 1 leg to 0. Fires in a maximum. First in this match.
We said Crofty was searching for a double that would come to his
100.
aid this week. We've already seen him reel in the big fish. Took out the 88 on the bullseye there. It's not the one I'd advise to people to go for because it's by far and away the
90.
smallest on the board. But could 50 be that double for Crofty this week?
Well, I don't think he'll go for it if he doesn't have to. Let's put it like that. Like you say,
59.
it is the smallest.
Andy Hamilton caught us off guard a little bit earlier on. He left 50 with 3 in hand and he went for it straight away. Something
He did.
I'm not
100.
familiar with in the Andy Hamilton playbook.
Nope, it shocked us a little bit, didn't it?
Yeah, certainly caught me off guard.
Well, it didn't put him off, although he didn't miss it.
180. Joe
He did
Carr,
miss it.
131.
He recovered in his next throw, so nice 180 there from Fatum.
Yeah, we'll come back to that moment
91.
at the end of this leg because Croft has left tops. Fatum's not left a finish. And we'll talk about that at the start of the next
105.
leg because he
Joe
does
Carr,
leave
40.
57, but Croft with trusty
Getting shown the
tops
second leg, Joe Croft.
goes 2-0 to the good. And Trina, 180.
Third leg, David, at
This is
31st.
annoying you,
162.
isn't it?
Of course it's annoying me. It's something that players should be doing and aware of. And look, David even hesitated before he threw the 180, looking away as if to say, why have I done that? And it's something that players really have to focus on from here because of things like that.
45.
Look, it might be a 1 in 100 shot that you from 3-4-4 go 180, 164. But it might just be the difference that
100.
turns your entire darting career around.
Yeah.
And as long as it's an opportunity, then I think you have to be leaving it and you have to be in that position.
60.
Yeah, yes, you've got a point, of course. Some of us can't count like you know, Jack.
140.
It's patterns, I think. Like, I'm not even sure some of it's the numbers. I just think some of it is the patterns.
Yeah.
Like, if you've hit 5 straight darts in your visit and one of those is a
60.
treble, 19 is not the shot. Like, I appreciate it's the second highest scoring segment on the board and some players just do it out of habit. But if
100.
in doubt, my advice to anyone out there is throw at the treble 17. Because that will bail you out of trouble a lot more often than the treble 19 will, just by the numbers and
79.
combinations it leaves, even if you hit a single.
161.
I'm taking this all in.
As a
40.
switch, despite being worth 6 points left, it is just so much more valuable in the numbers. In the first 6 starts, you can leave 3-4-4 or 3-10 if you hit single or treble, if you've hit a ton in your previous
47.
visit as well.
Joe Car
310 is quite a nice
121.
finish, 140 to 170. 3-4-4 means you can hit a maximum visit and
88.
Goes for the ball again.
leave a big finish. As Crofty nearly took out there. More counting school in the next leg.
100. Joe Car 33.
33 then for Joe. Double 16.
1. David Ducar 110.
Was really helpful to him in his opening match of the evening. Went away from it a little bit in match number 2. Where he did go down 4 legs to 0 to Connor Heenahan.
Game shot on the
Double
third leg.
16
David
has let Joe
Fatum.
Croft down there massively because David Fatum takes out the 110. He gets
Fourth leg,
in on the
Joe
ton
to
plus
first.
action.
Game on.
And he's back to within 1 leg and he can't quite believe it. He's showing those moments of brilliance. But perhaps lacking consistency. Just a little bit to keep up with the other 4 runners and riders in this group. That's Joe Croft. He's picking up all the accolades tonight, isn't he? He hit the 100th 180 of the group earlier on. That one he just hit previously was the 900th of the series so far.
42.
But back to my lesson on treble 17, Trina, because I was
Yes,
quite
come on
enjoying
then.
that.
You was,
So
weren't you?
in your
81.
setup play, like I said, in your first couple of visits, the chance to leave 3-4-4 or 3-10, both incredibly valuable visits. But the other time to use treble 17
59.
is on 2-6-1. If your first dart, you throw at 20s initially, if that's low and that blocks the bed, do not switch to treble 19. Switch to treble 17.
100.
Are you here Women's Week?
I've not got my rota yet.
Oh,
Shall I write you a list?
yes, please.
100.
So 120 for Croft when he returns.
100. Joe Car 120.
So treble 20, 20 and tops is the shot. Moves across the hockey. Can't find the big 20.
He moved himself and his aim
80.
to the left by the looks of that
Joe
one.
Car
And
120.
chance for Fatum. It's been the 120. 10 points higher than his last checkout. Got to work his way upwards. Won't go this time now.
61. Joe Car
Aggressive
40.
at the treble 16 and chance for Croft. That's wild. Didn't like that one at all.
That must have slipped out of his hand.
Back to double 16 then.
Gains on the
Let him down in the previous
Croft.
leg. Doesn't do so this time. Joe Croft restores his 2-leg cushion.
Fifth
And
leg,
leads this
David
match
is
3
first.
legs to
Game
1.
on.
Yeah, recovers well there. A very disappointing first start. Finds the 3 and pins the double 16.
100.
Just to round off my lesson. So as I said, 2-6-1.
Yes.
Your first dart at 20s. Your second dart at 17s. Because from 2-4-1, that leaves 2-2-4.
100.
And what you can do from 2-2-4 is throw at treble 20, treble 19, or treble 18, and leave a finish. If you switch down to the 19s and don't
60.
hit the treble, from 2-2-2, you cannot leave a finish with 1 dart in hand.
Yes, please write all this down.
Treble 17 is the way forward.
So there's your lesson, ladies and gents.
100.
And this is where, as well, using the board wisely can make a vast difference. Can make all the difference between that 1 dart that you actually give yourself extra, really, don't you? If you
41.
when you think about it.
Yeah, I think back to the early stages of this match. David Fatum on 3-4-2 that started this entire conversation, hit a maximum, left 1-6-2. Couldn't really do a lot about Joe Croft taking that leg in the end. If Fatum had taken that leg, we'd be level at 2 apiece right now. And he'd have the darts in this 5th leg to take the lead once more. Fine margins,
140.
especially
Joker
in such small
121.
races. Best of 7 can be brutal, as Joe Croft could be about to prove on the ball.
96. David Ducar 60.
Well, he's gone for the ball a few times in this match.
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago we were discussing ball
40.
being Joe Croft's
Joe
favourite
Croft,
double for the
25.
night, but
Exactly.
hasn't gone on his last couple of attempts. However, can he get the brush out and sweep up the 25? He
Finish on
can
the match,
indeed.
Joe
Joe
Croft.
Croft, with an excellent performance in the end, gets the better of David Fatum 4-1 and leaves the American winless through 3 games this evening. Not all doom and gloom in Group B, but David Fatum needs to get a win on the board in his final game of the evening, you feel. That'll be against Connor Heenahan in match number 10, a few games' time. Joe Croft, though, back in the winner's circle, back on 4 points. Next up, Reece Collie, Connor Heenahan.
Double 16.
Leaves the ball. And that is exquisite.
Tops.
Now
he's hitting everything.
He's looking at double top. Gets the double top.
Double 16. For the win. As Burnett bounces back.
And that double 5 gives Derek Coulton the break. It gives him a 2-1.
Because now it's raining ton plus checkouts.
Double 16. That's an 11 darter. That's a class leg.
Plenty of options for Team Wales. The lineup to be revealed on Saturday night. Who will join Canada, Netherlands, South Africa and Sweden in our second international pairs event. I'll be there, of course. I work here, that's my job. But which two players will be representing the Dragon of Wales in our second international pairs? You'll have to wait till Saturday night to find out at home. We are revealing one nation every week in the build-up to the second international pairs. The first event won by the Netherlands, beating Team Wales in the final.
First leg reached to throw first. Game on.
Almost mirroring the very first PDC World Cup of darts. It's underway in Germany this evening. Go through some results for you earlier on. But there's just something
100
fun about playing pairs, isn't there, Trina? Well, something fun about watching pairs. I'm not sure every player agrees. But there's something fun about playing pairs, isn't there? It takes out your rhythm a little bit.
It does, but if you have got somebody else to blame if it all goes wrong.
140.
Pairs is certainly more common in the BDO/WF side of the game. In the
60.
past, when you have played pairs, Trina, have you been the captain of your team leading off, or have you given that responsibility to someone else?
I've been the captain most of the time. However, if I've not been playing well, then obviously I've given it to... It's a team
89.
sport, isn't it? It's team match, so you give it to your best player or the person that you think that's going to get you that valid point.
68.
Heenahan nearly got his first point on the board. I struggle to believe, Trina, that in your career there's been that many opportunities and times where someone
92.
that you've been partnered with was better than you, given your haul of titles. But more on that in a moment. Heenahan coming back for double 4 now.
The first leg, Connor
Kicks off the first leg of this match.
Second leg, Connor did through first. Game on.
They go down 4-3 in his opener, despite leading 3-2 against Justin Smith, but responded nicely with a 4-0 win over Joe Croft. Takes the opener now against Reece Collie. And you have to say, this is much improved from the Conor Heenahan we saw last time out in Series 10. Looked a shadow of the player he is right now.
Super darts, another maximum there for Conor Heenahan. His second of this match,
85.
Third of the match between them.
One more question on your pairs career, shall we say, Trina? Who was your favourite partner you ever played with?
145.
Well, if you're talking internationally, it's hard to pick.
57.
But I'd
Conor
probably say
36.
Lisa Ashton. We had a good rapport, and
Game shot on the second leg, Conor Heenahan.
so you know when everything just slots together and
Third
it
leg reached
fits.
through first.
It was
Game on.
effortless kind of thing.
And the fact you've got 14 world titles between you must have scared the pants off of everybody you played against. We'll just gloss over that bit, shall we?
Well, yes, there is that bit.
There can't be many players out there in the world that ever looked up at their draw sheet, saw you two and went,
59.
do you know what? I fancy this one.
No, I suppose we were
60.
a bit of a daunting prospect.
We are yet
43.
to see a women's pair in the international pairs. Wouldn't mind seeing one in the near future.
19.
That would be interesting, wouldn't it?
I remember seeing similar in, I think it was the World Cup of Pool a couple of years ago.
180.
But that was an event with a significantly larger field.
60.
However, what the organisers of that tournament did was a couple of nations where we had an England A and an England B, shall we say.
Oh, good idea.
97.
Is there an argument to see something similar in the PDC World Cup of
56.
Darts?
Connor Carr,
Some incredibly strong
122.
nations, but some that perhaps aren't as gifted. Could we fill the field out a little bit more with some B teams?
I think we could.
106.
Well, this is a cracking leg. Again from Heenahan.
100. Connor Carr, 16.
It's 3 180s now. So double 8.
Getting shot on the third leg.
Takes it
Connor
with the
Heenahan.
first dart. And Connor
Full leg Connor
averaging
through first. Game on.
112.73 currently. 3-0 ahead. Reese on 79.86.
Yeah, just
140.
40 darts to take a 3-0 lead in this encounter. 45 darts would be impressive. That would be 100 average flat, but
85.
Connor Heenahan is not messing around here.
He's definitely found his rhythm.
140.
Producing the best darts of the night so far.
Back-to-back 140s.
134.
116 now. He's certainly on for a 12 darter or better. Should almost definitely leave a finish after 9.
100.
Finds the 1-2-1. This has
Connor Carr,
been
121.
superb from Connor Heenahan so far, and this could be the icing on the cake. Treble 20. Doesn't go this time.
65.
Still been mightily impressive from Heenahan. Leaves 56 after 12. Should get the job done in 15 or
100.
less.
Connor Carr, 56.
And that will see Heenahan's average stay well above the ton mark. Tops it is then for Heeno. One left.
16. Rishu
He
Carr,
goes
82.
further away from the target. He's still over the 100 mark. 79 left. Can't find the treble 13.
28. Connor Carr, 40.
And as quick as this game started for Reece Collie, it could be over. This is his final game of the night as well. Connor Heenahan is doing a bit of a demolition job
20.
on him, but
Rishu Carr,
6
54.
missed starts at double to wrap this one up.
Getting shot on the
Collie
fourth leg. Reece
picks
Collie.
off leg number 4, staying alive in this encounter. Heenahan averaging just a
Fifth leg, Reece
measly
is through
102
first. Game
now.
on.
Yes, it's hammered his average down with them misses.
You know when a
57.
player misses dart 7 on a 9 darter and they get ironically booed? I feel like doing the same to Connor. That could have been mightily impressive there. We were giving him all the praise in the world.
57.
And 6 darts at double later. Is that one of those moments where you know
100.
you're playing well and you start thinking maybe about the numbers? You've gone back-to-back 140s in this leg. Everything is going perfectly for you.
Yeah, and it ends up being going a little
43.
bit pear-shaped.
It does indeed. And
It seems to be rattling him as well in this leg. He knows that he should have had that
58.
leg. He knows he should have pinned that way before Coley did.
85.
And the average for Conor Heenahan is just starting to free fall a little bit. Don't get me wrong, it's still very impressive. He's averaging 97, but
65.
When it was up at 112.
Untimely bounce out for Collie might just be the saving grace for Heeno. Back in the treble bed at long last.
140.
Considering he had 6 starts to get the job done 4-0. Reece Collie can take out the 136.
140.
Super darts there from
36.
Conor Heenahan to leave himself 36. And this won't go this time, so Conor will be
58.
back
Conor
to take
McCann,
out
36.
double 18 for the match.
Superb from Conor Heenahan. In the end, he gets the job done in 5 legs instead of 4. Arguably should have been even more impressive than what we've just seen. He averages 100.74, finishes with 4 from 10 on the outer ring, but those 6 misses all came for the match in leg number 4. Conor Heenahan was virtually unplayable at times in that one, and he picks up the 2 points, meaning Reece Collie ends the night on 4. Next up, Joe Croft will round off his evening against Justin Smith.
Are you ready to lift that trophy, Darius? Yes. Let's do it then. Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series 9 champion is Lucky D, Darius Labanowski!
Well, what a wonderful night of darts we have seen, and we are ready. Our champion is ready, and it's trophy. So receive the trophy. £25,000. The new Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And one more time, the 8th Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And the new Modus Super Series champion is Andreas Dirty Harrison. And one more time, the 7th Modus Super Series champion. Give it up for Andreas Dirty Harrison!
The moment we've all been waiting for. Would you please show your appreciation for your Series 6 Modus Super Series champion, Scott Taylor!
One more time, your new Modus Super Series champion. He is Chucky. He is Jim McEwen.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series champion, retaining his title, the Nuke, Luke Littler!
I don't switch sides, still the same, huh?
It's Phil, the power.
Told you this is not a game. Done playing, trying to live up to my name. Cuss them out, they said I changed. They just ain't keep up to pace.
Welcome back to the party of Portsmouth here at the Modus Live Lounge.
This is not a game. Started 15 big dreams, and I keep dreaming. Strategic, I'm not scheming.
The GOAT is in town. No, Scott Mitchell has not left the back gate to his farm open. Phil the Power Taylor is going to be here at the Live Lounge on the 28th of this month in an audience with your chance to hear some stories from the only dart player on the planet who has more World Championship titles than the person sat next to me, Trina Gulliver, MBE. What an experience that'll be for the fans.
Wouldn't it just? Yeah. It's a great story to tell. So get your tickets.
Yeah, head to dartshop.tv where you can pick those up. And also get you in to the Women's Week Finals night that evening where you may just see the female GOAT in action herself.
What sound was a goat, mate? Meh.
85.
I'm glad you backed it up with the sound because I wasn't about to do it.
140.
My promising commentary career over with not knowing what sound a goat makes.
44.
Just kidding. Get it.
59.
God, I'm sharp tonight.
There was a joke to be made there, wasn't there? And I missed it. What
56.
sound does a goat make? Oh, it's ever so strange. One of Phil Taylor's favourite phrases.
138.
As Trina said, a man full of stories with plenty to tell. Now that he's hung the darts up for good.
58. Justin Car 164.
So Smith then can't take out the 164 this time.
100.
Does leave 64 on his return. 64 after 12 as well.
77. Justin Car 64.
And he's got 6 at this, should he need it. Double 8 then. Finds it with his third dart. Takes the lead in this match. The breaking throw.
Justin to throw first.
Leads 1-0.
Yeah, comfortably brushed aside by Reece Collie in his last outing, and we discussed what that might do to Smith's temperament heading into this final game. If you go into match number 4 with 6 points to your name after the start that
60.
Justin Smith has had, it's pretty much not job done for the night. That's the wrong way of phrasing it, but the pressure's off. You're happy with 6 points when you leave the building regardless, but to lose in the manner that he did to Reece Collie did a bit of damage to his leg difference
100.
as well. And now there's pressure on this to get a result, because if Justin Smith leaves this building with just 4 points to his name,
100.
I think given the way he started tonight, he will be incredibly disappointed with that as a return.
81.
Winner of this game will move top of the table.
100.
Albeit just for the time being, dependent on the result of Conor Heenahan and David Fatum.
100.
Both of these players have won 2 out of 3 so far this evening. Both of them, when they were beaten,
97.
were beaten to nil as well. So when it's gone well for them, it's gone really well. But when it hasn't, they're taking a bit of a battering.
Justin Car 52.
So chance for Smith now to take out this 52 for a 2-0 lead.
Joe Car 60.
Can't be done. So 60 now for Crofty. Tops. Finds it with his second dart and returns the favour. Breaks the throw back.
Third leg Jody through first.
1-1.
Game on.
Really good adjustment that from Crofty. His darts tend to kick up a little bit. Worked his way around the single 20 expertly, and
81.
been a love-hate relationship with top so far this week, but that time it was right where Joe Croft needed it. As for Justin Smith,
137.
2 darts to pinch that leg and go 2-0 up. He tends to throw and cross himself just a little bit, so when he does miss on the outside of 16s and 8s, he tends to cover the targets just a little bit.
Yeah, kind of sweeps his arm
134.
across his body, doesn't he? On his release.
100.
And part of that is just the speed that he plays at. He's so eager to collect his next dart that naturally it comes across him to go and transfer the dart from his non-thrown hand to his thrown hand for his next throw.
85. Justin Car 96.
Treble 20 then. Finds it. Double 18. Double 9 then.
87.
Not to
Joe Car
be.
95.
So chance for Crofty to take out this 95. 76 left.
59.
Second time this evening he's
Justin
opted to go
Car
for bullseye
9.
first on 95. Got a dart at tops last time, but unable to
Getting
buy
shown the
himself a
third leg,
dart at a
Justin
double
Smith.
this time out. And it costs him in the end. Justin Smith breaking once
Fourth leg,
again.
Justin to throw first.
3 legs in this match so far.
Game on.
All of them been won against the darts. Justin Smith, both of his, in 5 visits. 15 darter and a 14 darter to his name.
81.
Joe Croft winning his solitary leg so far in 17 darts, so 6 visits to the board.
56. 100.
Finds for treble 20 with his last dart.
$60.
Crofty unable to find a treble.
$40.
Well, chance for Crofty now to pressurise that shot. It's going well about it. Fills it up. The maximum. And his first of this match.
94.
Both of these players playing in their final game of the evening.
101.
Curiously, Crofty's record so far. Played 3, won 2. The 2 games he's
57.
won.
Joe
He's
Car
thrown second in the
104.
match. The one game he was beaten in quite comfortably. He had the advantage of throw against Conor Heenahan. Conor Heenahan's in the same
58.
position as well. He's won 2 out of
Joe
his
Car
3 games so far.
129.
A 4-1 and a 4-0 defeat, a win against the darts, but a 4-3 loss when he did throw first.
64. Joe Car 46.
Double 18. Double 9 then.
28.
And he
Justin Car
can't find
65.
the target. So 65 required. Justin Smith hits the bullseye. So 11 left. 15 left. I don't know what I'm doing.
57. Joe Car 18. Getting shown the fourth leg, Joe Croft.
I knew what I meant.
Do I need to write down how to check out 65
Yes,
alongside
please
my
do.
lessons of
Through
treble
first.
17?
Yes,
Game on.
please do. My excuse is it's late. At night. It's been a long day.
Yeah, we are into the early hours of Friday morning now. 20 past
100.
12 here in the UK.
Another maximum there by Crofty. Second of the match.
57.
Yeah, I was looking at the record so far, Trina, and only one game so far has been won by the player throwing first. However,
81. Joe
Joe
Croft
Croft
41.
here. I didn't want to jinx it. I didn't want to acknowledge it. I did not want to do a Henry Deacon, but an almost moment of magic from Joe Croft. 6 perfect darts
58. Joe Croft
from the
54.
Hertfordshire man. However, more importantly, he's missed the big number. 1 dart at tops for the leg. Plenty of time at this one, though.
34.
Does he need to add a little bit of board management to his game there, Trina? He's got so much time on his
41.
hand.
Joe Croft 20.
Should that dart have been missing on the top side? Make sure you're coming back for tops rather than chasing around the board a little bit.
Well, he finds the double 10
Joe Croft.
with his last dart. So,
6 legs
was
just
the right choice.
First. Game on.
Leads the match by 3 games to 2.
59.
For you, ladies and gentlemen at home, when there is, as people in the comms box, when there is a chance
47.
of a 9-darter, these chairs roll about all across the floor. Our legs are thumping. Our hearts
100.
are jumping. And then we have to come down to the ground.
It's quite a weird feeling, if
60.
I'm being honest. I don't want to brag, but I've refereed quite a few here, and I'm
Yes,
not
you
allowed
are.
to react. So it's a bit different out there. Like, I'm literally not allowed to react.
134.
You might see the odd smile out the corner of my mouth going, yeah, that was a really good moment, actually. But, like, in that moment, I have to be cool, calm, collected. Remember what the leg
140.
score is before that changes too quickly on the scoreboard, and make sure you get that call correct, because that's either a game shot on the 3rd leg or game shot on the match to whoever's just hit it.
136.
I'm itching to get involved and get amongst it and get excited, but given the record our colleague Henry Deacon has of late
100.
of jinxing
Just
9
look at
darts, I'm
72.
petrified of saying anything. But to be honest, that's as close as we've got this week so far, and we've had a couple of chances
70.
today, so maybe the key is to
Joe
acknowledge
Croft
it and get on it early.
154.
Well,
Next time someone opens up with a treble 20 in the first dart of the game, I'm going for it. Justin Smith will have to go for it
84.
because he's left
Justin
himself in the
McCarthy.
madhouse.
well, he needs it to level the
Finish on
match, and he
6 legs,
does so.
Justin Smith.
So we go to a deciding leg, and Crofty will have the
7 and
darts.
final leg. Joe to throw first. Game
no
on.
other options when you find yourself on double 1. No ways of breaking it down. It's called the madhouse for a reason,
134.
because it can drive you absolutely insane.
93.
Well, good start from Crofty in this leg. Can he find another treble?
59.
He can't. So he doesn't back it up.
58.
Justin doesn't punish.
Do you know what, Trina?
100.
Talking of 9 darters, I'm going to do something a bit silly now.
Really?
I'm going to make a prediction.
Okay.
Conor
94.
Heenahan has 3 to his name in this building. He's going to hit one in the next match.
Do you think?
You've heard it here first.
All right. Okay.
100.
Well, is there a forfeit if you don't do it for you?
I hope not. He's got 5 maximums to his name so far through 3 games. That tally is only bettered by Joe Croft, who had 6 coming into this game and has got 3 already. But match winning opportunity from 108. And he's missed the big number. Joe Croft,
68.
what have you done?
Justin McCarthy 76.
Found the treble 18, but didn't get a dart double, and Justin Smith to pick his pocket. Croft thinks this is going. Got a step. Left to float it over the top.
60.
Justin Smith.
Joe McCarthy
This is
40.
2 match darts. Joe Croft was kicking himself just a few moments ago, thinking he'd given Smith the keys to this match. Trusty double 10 to the rescue, not this time. Double 5, last in hand.
Getting shown in the match, Joe Croft.
Superb from Joe Croft, who, for the time being, moves top of the table. A real good encounter between these two to round off their evening here on day one of Group B. But it is Joe Croft, as I said, who goes top of the table temporarily, dependent on Connor Heenahan's result incoming. Justin Smith ending the night on 4 points. To be mightily disappointed with that. David Fatum will be even more disappointed if he can't get off 0 next up against Connor Heenahan.
$54. Charlie McGuire, 164. $44. $32. Charlie required 120.
Well, 120. He's got a fair, at least 2 handfuls at this. Just needs to stay
60.
there. That's a good shot. Halves his score. Leaves himself on a 2-darter.
$26. Charlie
Time on his
required
side
60.
to become back-to-back singles champion.
$40.
Definitely a couple of nerves in those last 2 darts. But he'll be coming back.
It's a moment he's been in before this situation. Standing at the back of the stage,
Charlie
approaching the
required
hockey with a
20.
chance to win the title.
He did this to win the first title, if you remember.
11.
I think he's gone.
Georgia
I think he's gone to
180.
bust it, maybe. The first title he wanted 20. He went 6-7-7 to win it. He had a chance to replicate it again.
Yeah, I get the feeling that was for a bust, and
39.
on that situation there, George Scaife wasn't even
9.
able to take it out going to the 18s on that switch.
Yeah, I think he just panicked a bit, but he's done well to get that big one.
Sometimes can be the hardest part.
Georgia requires
This is it.
79.
It's got to be 19s. It's got to be 19s for this shot. Big 20 and a double. He's got the first one. He's going to get a match dart here.
$59. Charlie
Threw the entire
required
body into that
8.
one. Just didn't want to let go of the dart.
No score.
He's given George a chance.
Georgia require 20.
I think George has been quite good on double 10 today.
So many opportunities for Charlie Murphy.
Go!
Couldn't get the job
it.
done.
Got in the match! And the Red Dragon
George
Modus
Scaife.
Super Series Influencers Champion, George Scaife!
Live and free on Pluto TV for the first time. The World Seniors are in town with the champion of champions. 12 players competing for the title, currently held by Richie Howson in the middle of your graphic there. John Henderson, the former World Seniors champion, in the field alongside Ross Montgomery, the current World Seniors champion. Robert Thornton, the two-time World Seniors champion. That title's been predominantly held by Scots, but Raymond van Barneveld will be hoping to be the first Dutchman to lift a title. That's his wildcard inclusion to the tournament. Tickets available at dartshop.tv. Be quick. A lot quicker than most of these guys can move. And you just might be able to see them in action. Back to tonight's action. This is match number 10 of 10. Conor Heenahan been mightily impressive so far in his games. Did lose his opener 4-3 to Justin Smith, but since then a 4-0 win over Joe Croft and a 4-1 win over Reece Collie. Means he's in with a shout of topping the table overnight if he can get the better of the winless so far, David Fatum.
First leg, Conor to throw first.
And then today's session will do the same tomorrow, where the fixtures reverse, which means 10 p.m. tomorrow night. When you tune in once again, you'll see this matchup once more.
45.
Couldn't really get more contrasting players in terms of the way they choose to dress themselves, could they, Trina? David is very bright, very colourful. Conor doesn't even own a dart shirt.
Well, you're playing what you feel comfortable
140.
Do you like players that don't have a dart shirt? Because I had a conversation with
45.
One player who's been in the last couple of series, picked up a weekly win in David Davies, and he's stuck to off-the-rail shirts the last couple of times he's been here. But I had a chat with him last time I was here, and I said, David, do you own customised dart shirts? He goes, yeah. I was like, then wear them.
95.
Be proud of yourself and show off a bit of personality, a bit of character. I think it certainly helps people at home connect with the player, even if it's just a block colour and something different.
57.
You know something, or you can surmise something about that person. I think.
build a bit of a profile
Yeah.
of yourself, kind of thing.
100%.
134. Conor 164.
Got another player that typically sticks to this kind of polo top.
64.
Well, it's only just recently that Bo Greaves has changed to a proper dart shirt. She would always play in a polo shirt, and she preferred that to start off with, but now she's found
103. Conor
shirts
100.
that she likes.
Chance for Heenahan to win the opening leg then.
60. David Carr 25.
Why had the last start at tops, and Fatum chance to get the first leg on the board. 9 for double 8.
Getting shot on the first leg, David
First leg on the board to Scorpion. He needs 3 more for his first win of the night to make sure he's still in contention heading into tomorrow. He's currently 4 points behind the rest of the group, so if he can bridge that gap to just 2 points come the end of the night, he's still in with a fighting chance tomorrow.
100.
Yeah, and that, of course, was a breaker throw by David.
85.
Where was your commentary on that one?
I didn't want to go too early, but I did get a bit. There was a pause when that first treble went in, wasn't there? If I'm going to make promises that Heenahan's going to add to his 9 dart collection in this very
100.
specific match, I'm going to need a few more trebles, Conor.
Yeah, but Jack, you did say that you were going to start commentating on the very first treble.
58.
And you were going to mention that the 9 darter is on.
Okay, next leg. when it happens.
One of them, 40.
Down here, Connor. Sorry, David, by the way. I'm actively cheering for somebody, but Connor's got it in his repertoire.
134. David Carr, 161.
Three previous ones he's hit here. The very first in the building against Adam Smith-Neal. Refereed by Mr. Paul Hinks himself.
65.
I think Paul may have done his one in Southampton as well, actually. We were having a bit of a chat earlier on. Second one, swiftly followed
60.
by Heenahan.
David Carr,
Against
96.
Alan Norris. And then his third most recent one against Jason Heaver.
61.
Well, chance now
Conor Carr, 164.
for Heenahan to take out 164. It's not to be this time. So David will return
42. David
for
Carr,
35 to go to a 2-0 lead. Double 16 then, and he finds it with his second dart.
The second leg, David Fatum.
Back-to-back 6-visit legs for Fatum. Been more than enough in
Third
this
leg,
game
Conor
so
to through
far.
first. Game on.
9-point lead in the averages over Conor Heenahan. Boo! Too early to be booing, Jack. You can't be doing that.
25.
We're swiftly running out of chances for this to happen, Trina. We're going to need a backup plan.
98.
Maybe you'll get one tomorrow.
What, on the big treble board?
39.
Yeah, a little bit of a spoiler alert. Trina will be getting her darts out of the case tomorrow afternoon. She'll be involved in one of our challenges. This week, the players
58.
are playing on a dartboard where the doubles and trebles are twice the size.
I must remember to put them in my bag.
95.
In my dart shirt.
Look what Conor
99.
Heenahan has left himself on, Trina.
Yes, and where's he going?
Well, it doesn't matter what he does, because he can't leave a finish.
100.
This could be over in double quick time for David Fatum. Leads 2-0.
140.
Sneaks ahead against the darts here in leg number 3, and if he gets over the line with this 106 or the subsequent visit after that, he would be throwing for the
140.
match.
David Carr, 106.
As impressive as Conor Heenahan has been in his last 2 matches,
74. Conor
he's
Carr,
a width of a wire away on
102.
double 16 from being up against it here in the 10th and final match of the night. Treble 14 though leaves tops for Hino.
62. David Carr, 32.
Just a little too high once again. Double 16 foot. What could be Joseph
on
in
the
his
third
amazing
leg, David
Technicolor
Fatum.
dream coat, but it isn't. It's David Fatum, and he does lead 3-0.
Fourth leg, David to throw first. Game on.
Hi, David. How are you doing?
Well, looks at the camera and opens his hands as if to say, well, I weren't expecting that.
Yeah, where's that been?
84.
Wasn't quite the Conan Whitehead death stare. I'm doing that now to Conor Heenahan because he's going to
100.
let me down for this 9 dart promise.
$60.
Before that visit, did Fatum just eye up the camera just to the left of the board as well? Like, it's quite common for the players to do it from the back of the
97.
stage to the cameras just on the side. You can see one there in the top right-hand corner of your picture, but he definitely eyed up the player camera that we're seeing him on right now. And
85.
I didn't notice.
Does that show a lack of concentration, perhaps, that he's so aware of the cameras he's not quite...
140.
He probably
tuned
did it
into the game?
subconsciously.
$140. Connor Carr, 164.
164 then for Connor. Can't be done this time. So David will have a shot at the 132.
38.
We'll start on the
David Carr,
bullseye.
132.
Or should start on the bullseye. Does so. Treble 19 now for the ball. Whoa.
107.
So
Connor
close.
Carr, 126.
Tried to pop the cork, but he broke the top of the bottle off instead. Heenahan won't take out the 126, and David Fatum
46.
for his first
David
points
Carr,
of the night
25.
then. In super impressive fashion. Connor Heenahan was looking like he might run away with this group a little bit. After his early loss, he's been superb, but...
No score. Connor Carr, 80.
That was a bit wild from Scorpion.
Another 20 now for tops.
Got to
That's
step
the-
across.
Game shown with fourth leg, Connor
Connor
Heenahan.
Heenahan extends this match a little longer.
Fifth leg, Connor to third first. Game on.
He's another player who has quite a steep angle of entry into the board, so the minute he finds that big 20, he's got to step across and work his way around it.
43.
Connor just lost his mojo a little bit in this final match.
100.
Had a over 100 average in his previous match against Reese Collie. 4-1
72.
victory there. And Connor only averaging at this point in time 76.68. So a very different match.
57.
I feel kind of responsible for this, you know, Trina.
I say you should.
I made a promise on Connor's behalf that we'd see the magical 9 dart leg. This is leg number
134.
5 of this match. And he's hit the treble 20 with his first dart once in 5 attempts.
It's that commentator's curse.
Still time, though.
40.
And I don't want to put the curse on David Fatum, but if you look at which leg a 9 dart has
100.
been hit here at the Super Series, it happens for the match more often than not.
$100. Connor Carr, 152.
152. Won't be going this time.
44.
Well, he would have hoped for more. Big score here from David. And Connor will be in trouble.
140.
And he does
Connor
just
Carr,
that.
108.
This 108 needs to go.
Helps for 19s, needs a treble for double 16, won't go this time, and another match-winning opportunity on his return for
68.
David Fatum.
David Carr,
164,
64.
so can do all his work in the 16s corridor if he likes. That leaves 57.
60.
What has
Connor
happened
Carr,
there? Has he
40.
just tried to go 25 for double 16 when 17 left tops? That is a crazy decision from David Fatum, and it just might cost him last start in hand from Hino.
30. David
Well,
Carr,
he's got
4.
away with that, hasn't he?
I can't believe he's done that. I can't believe the counting.
Game
But he
shown
does
the
get
match,
away with
David
it in the
Fatum.
end. David Fatum gets his first 2 points on the board to end the night. Connor Heenahan has a bit of a glance towards the scoreboard as if to say, how have you done that in that previous leg? But it is a win for Scorpion, who gives a shrug of his shoulders as he leaves the stage. He's still within a chance of making it to Saturday night, where Carl Sneed awaits, and this is how you can join him there.
Every
And Scotland are off to the perfect start.
Look at the head there for Jimmy Vansky as Burnett steps up. And Richie Burnett does find double 10, and it is a 4-3 victory.
60 to complete a 4-1 success. Third time in the shot, and the Netherlands are into the semi-finals. History is in the making, because for the first time ever, there will be a paired 9-dart shootout. Well, this is the loudest I think I've ever heard alive now. Steve West is embracing it. Well, that might well be the biggest cheer we see tonight. And kicks off for Maximin. And as opposed to one advantage of... Well, that is absolutely incredible. Scott Campbell in a 9-dart shootout has found 2 180s. So Scotland and Belgium are into the semi-finals. The Republic of Ireland head for home. The Netherlands are into the final. Much to the delight of this packed-out Portland.
And he only needed one more. It is Wales that is through to the final.
And it's double Dutch delight. The Netherlands are the inaugural international pairs champions.
Only one winner. It's the Netherlands! There we have it. If you do want to be here on a Saturday evening, just scan that QR code or head to dartshop.tv to get yourself here for some world-class darting action in one of the best and most intimate darting venues on the planet. I may be a bit biased, but I do definitely believe in that. Here's, though, what we've seen so far. Bon Jovi, Once Upon a Time, was living on a prayer, and David Fatum's hopes of getting out of Group B are a little bit stronger than that now. He's picked up his first win of the campaign, beating Conor Heenahan by 4-1 to round off the evening's action. Joe Croft, though, is the man at the top of the table. Back-to-back wins in his final 2 matches see him reach 6 points. Conor Heenahan, the man just behind Justin Smith and Reece Collie, practically level there in 3rd and 4th. And after a positive start to the evening, Trina, is Justin Smith going to be the man that's most disappointed when the 5 players leave the building shortly?
Yeah, I would say so. And yeah, he's, like you say, he started off really well and seemed to fade a little bit as the night went on.
Yeah, he did indeed. David Fatum, a bit of a recovery job at the end there. Getting the better of Conor Heenahan means he's got 2 points to work with heading into tomorrow's action. But our attention does turn once again to Group C tomorrow afternoon from 1 p.m. Brandon Walsh is the man that leads that group with 8 points to his name. Mike Huntley still in the mix. Also, a man that's made finals night previously. Andy Hamilton, a former weekly winner, in the mix also. All of those names hoping to join Carl Sneed here on Saturday night in the evening. Before we do go, there is one last chance to look ahead to our next Women's Week here at the Modus Super Series. The 10-time world champion sat alongside me, Trina Gulliver, will be involved once again in a fiercely competitive Group A. Trina, how do you fancy your chances ahead of this one?
It's tough, isn't it? And I'll be hoping to go one better than I did. Well, at least one better than I did last time round. I made the finals night, but went out first round in the finals night. So, but a great lineup there, and really looking forward to it.
Yeah, chance to put it right in your next appearance here in just a couple of weeks' time. But for now, that is all we've got time for. We'll see you again at 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon.
beautiful. Sophie McKinley, the bullseye.
Well, absolutely sensational stuff. An 11 dart leg from Lorraine Winstanley. Takes it out superbly, Queen.
And she finds it. That's good composure there from Kirsty Vinakainen.
Does it in 3.
So Pauling looking at 130. Another double 5. Oh, that's magnificent. It's another big checkout at a big time for Paige Pauling.
On the first leg.
Check, check, check.
Double 13. Straight Trina up. She does. Getting shot in the second leg. Angela Kirkwood.
Bullseye.
On the third leg. Steph Clark.
So 109 for the match and 6 darts from here for Vicky Pruitt. Is she going to find her second tub plus check of the match? Yes, she is.
Once again, she hits the treble, double 18. A nice little
Said dart is going to be at double top. Said dart is found. And this is a good couple of legs of Kirsty Hutchinson here.
What a finish! What a man! The drum roll finishes, and the target is hit.
And that was it. And it comes on finals night, and it's a knockout.